Dive into the very mind of a schizophrenic gamer. Explore the entire planet with intricate, lifelike detail. Use your hands and voice to cast magical spells and wield incredible power. Meditate in a psychedelic playground that you control. Feel the true power of a black hole devouring everything in space. Become a cat. Learn to cook real meals from all over the world, or just kick back and throw your fishing line into the ocean while watching GameList Plus on YouTube. There is a seemingly endless supply of relaxing, engaging, informative, and exciting ways to explore the universe and the mind in VR with your Meta Quest 3, Quest 2, or Quest Pro. I've tried out tons of games and experiences that you can buy over the last few months to bring you this list. Welcome to GameList Plus. I'm Josh, and here are 10 must-buy Meta Quest 3 experiences. Once again, this video is focused on non-gaming experiences. Watch till the end to see some experiences that will truly change the way you see the world around you. Let's get started. At number 10, TRIPP. Meditation may not be something that you've ever tried before, but it is truly one of the most helpful and effective ways to calm your mind, reduce anxiety, help with insomnia, treat addiction, and just help you be mindful in your daily life. It truly has helped me a lot over the years. Traditional meditation is generally practiced with your eyes closed, but not with TRIPP. This is an awesome way to delve into guided meditations with a personalized experience with your eyes wide open. The meditations in TRIPP are really incredible visuals paired with binaural audio, which gives you a full spatial sense of realism that really makes for a fresh way to meditate. There's a whole variety of meditation scenarios that you can customize to your specific needs. There is a brief free demo that's included when you download the experience, but to really delve into it, you'll have to become a member, and there are multiple options available, including a $10 a month version, $40 for a year version, and an endless license for $80. In any case, the $10 is very well worth it. This is a whole new way to meditate that I find pretty amazing. It's graphically stunning, and the kaleidoscopic, colorful meditations truly are great. You can also use your account with the phone app, which has its own features and meditations of its own. It's really cool. And you can even add custom photos that appear in your VR experience. And yes, those are my dogs uploaded into the experience. Next up at number 9, Color Space. Have you ever wanted to be inside a coloring book? Well, that is exactly what Color Space is. I remember when I was a kid winning the local grocery store's coloring contest. I really don't know how many people I was competing against, but I just remember being really excited to be the winner, and I genuinely thought that I was going to win a cash prize, but I was given a really ugly t-shirt that was way too big for me, so obviously I was very disappointed. Thankfully, the reward for your creativity in Color Space does not disappoint. As you color the world around you, it all starts coming to life bit by bit. I honestly don't know how I missed this experience all the way up until recently. This truly is a hidden gem of a VR experience out there. It's such a straightforward concept of picking colors and filling in the spaces, but there's just something very magical and satisfying about it. From the action-specific sound effects and music to the full broad spectrum of color options and vast array of coloring environments, Color Space is a great VR experience for adults as well as the kids. I definitely highly recommend it. Very quickly, if you are enjoying this video, this is the perfect time for you to hit that like button. It really does help the channel a lot. And also don't forget to hit subscribe so you can see all the videos I make in the future. Next, at number 8, Real VR Fishing. Do you have a memory from childhood of disliking something, then later looking back and finding it to be something you miss? That's how I feel about a specific memory from when I was a kid. My dad woke me up so early one morning that it really felt like it was still night. He loaded me into the car along with a bunch of fishing gear to take me up to the lake to fish. I was super cranky and did not want to go, but he insisted on it. I remember just feeling so cold and miserable as we pushed the boat away from shore and annoyed that I was being subjected to this torture. But as we were there in that boat on the lake with our fishing lines in the water, along came a beautiful sunrise. I'll never forget the sunlight tingling as it warmed my skin with the steam rising from the still lake surface as we floated out there, surrounded by the pine forest of the high Sierras. That peace and quiet of sitting on a lake or sitting by the ocean fishing is something truly special. Real VR fishing is most definitely the best and closest version of that real-life experience in virtual reality. The base software comes with a large variety of locations ranging from South Korea all the way to places in California like where my dad and I used to go fishing. There are also DLC packs that give you even more options and locations to fish beyond the base experience, like the east and west coast of the United States, as well as all over Japan. There are all kinds of fishing rods and reels and types of fish and so many things to collect and add to your experience that Real VR Fishing really is one of the best experiences in VR if you just want to relax. You can also play cooperatively with your friends, fishing together at specific locations. There are difficulty levels to give you more realism, and the graphics have been updated for the Quest 3, so it looks stunning. And on top of all of that, there's a very cool feature of being able to load up YouTube videos while you fish. You can float the screen over the water as you just kick back and wait for a bite. Real VR fishing is hands down one of the best experiences you can buy for VR. Next, at number 7, Spheres. Spheres is a 3-part virtual reality experience produced by the renowned director Darren Aronofsky. It's an amazing journey that uses hand tracking and some basic interactivity to let you play around with the sounds of the planets of our solar system and even feel the true power of a black hole consuming everything. This experience blends real science with creative narration and crazy visuals to bring together a really fascinating 3-chapter experience. The first chapter is voiced by Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. The second is by Jessica Chastain, and the third is by Patti Smith. All 3 are individually breathtaking and worth every second of your attention. This really does make you feel as if you're traveling through the cosmos. It's existential and abstract, yet scientific. There's no way to fully describe exactly how this makes you feel. It's just a completely immersive, really cool experience that I could not recommend more. Next, at number 6, Lost Recipes. Lost Recipes is a relaxing virtual reality cooking simulator. I'd gone back and forth in my head many times over the previous months about whether or not I should even bother trying this, or if I would enjoy it at all, but I am so glad that I took the plunge and grabbed this incredibly entertaining cooking experience. I personally really enjoy cooking and serving up some tasty meals myself, although I do stick to a pretty small set of specific meals that I'm really good at. Between my mom and my Italian grandmother, I learned quite a few tricks on how to make a good meal. Something that I really found awesome about Lost Recipes is that it made me want to try to cook new and different meals and try spices that I'd heard of but I've never tried putting in a dish. Within Lost Recipes, you cook in traditional kitchens from Greek, Chinese, and Mayan civilizations. You actually are given step-by-step instructions by great voice actors that include mixing, grinding, lighting the fire, timing your cooking, and honing your skills with each of the 9 recipes included. You can actually cook all of these meals in real life using the cookbook that's available on their website. And with a little practice in virtual reality, there is no reason you shouldn't be able to make these taste great in real life. My only complaint is that there are only 9 recipes, but at least these are different dishes that are really good ones. And the price just recently dropped, so really you're spending a little over $1 per recipe, so it's worth it. Next up, at number 5, Brink Traveler. Brink Traveler gives you the awesome experience of traveling all over the world to incredible 3D immersive environments. There are 28 locations with room-scale walkable areas in each one. There's a multiplayer mode so you can link up with other people to explore together, and lots to learn about each place. Brink Traveler uses photogrammetry-based capture technology to create these incredibly lifelike environments, which seem all the more real with added animation and sound effects. Brink Traveler is incredibly easy to use, pick up, and explore. I also tried out another experience called BluePlanetVR, which is really cool as well and has a lot more locations to explore with some photogrammetry technology as well, but the functionality is nowhere near as fluid as Brink Traveler. In fact, the last time I tried to use BluePlanetVR, its environments just didn't want to work at all. Hopefully by the time you're seeing this video, they've already fixed it and you can also check it out, because it is also worth your time. In any case, the fact that the environments look so great on the Quest 3 and Brink Traveler makes this experience well worth your time and money. Next up, at number 4, Notes on Blindness. Now this one is actually completely free, but I had to include it on this list because it's just so worth it. It's a truly moving and ironically eye-opening experience that helps you understand what it's like to live with blindness. The experience corresponds to the narration of real-life recordings of Professor John Hull, who wrote all of these notes not long after he lost his sight. Being an extremely visual person and watching my grandmother lose her sight in her 80s made this experience really moving for me. I highly recommend you wear headphones while experiencing this fantastic audio-visual story. Much of what you experience is audio-based, but the visuals directly correspond, giving those of us who are still sighted a glimpse of what the world is like for those who do not have the blessing of sight. It also highlights the most important thing in life that goes far beyond the senses: love. Being that this experience is completely free, there is absolutely no reason that you should not go out and try this. Putting yourself in someone else's shoes is one of the most important things to do in this lifetime. VR gives us the ability to do this unlike ever before. Next, at number 3, Fujii. When I stepped into the world of Fujii, I really had no idea what to expect. I was met with one of the most engrossing and beautiful interactive experiences I've had in VR. This is the most game-like experience of any of the things on this list, but I would not call it a game. Really, it's all about exploring and finding seeds to add to your garden of flowers and plants. You always return to the central hub where you have all your plants, pots, and seeds. That serves as your home base to travel through the different worlds that each supply you with a whole new array of plant types. You nurture your own garden after harvesting from all the colorful landscapes. This experience is downright peaceful and has an awesome soundscape composed by the French composer Norman Bomby. One of the coolest things about the experience is that it's very slow and organic. You have objectives, but they're not linear. You just kind of take it as it comes and learn how to do what you do. It really did fill me with a sense of wonder that very few VR experiences can achieve. It definitely has some whimsical character designs and out-of-this-world creations, but its dreamlike atmosphere is so relaxing and nice to just enjoy and explore. This has to be one of the most underrated and underexposed experiences out there in VR. If you've ever played games like Flower or Journey on PlayStation, you will definitely have a sense of familiarity with this cool journey involving flowers. It is honestly just super charming. I highly recommend Fujii, a magical gardening adventure. At number 2, EarthQuest. Not to be confused with MapQuest, the old website that you could print out instructions on how to get somewhere. Does anyone else remember printing out instructions and holding them in their car, in their hand? We were like pirates back then. Anyway, while there are interactive map experiences out there on Quest 3 like World that was featured in my last Quest 3 experiences video, there is a new Google Maps integrated Quest 3 app on the scene. I have had the pleasure of being in contact with its creator, and he's worked incredibly diligently to bring us the best whole world exploration app on the Quest 3 without having to plug it into your PC. In EarthQuest, you can use the built-in AI to just say where you want to go, then fly to it. The AI will also describe and give you details about where you land. Everything that Google Maps has, including street views, is accessible through EarthQuest. This allows you to fly over Manhattan, Los Angeles, London, Tokyo, wherever you want to go, all the way down to standing in front of a specific location or address. I had the pleasure of spending a lot of time in London and New York City in years past. I haven't had as much time to visit in recent years, but I found myself being sucked away right in front of my living room as I traveled around in VR through familiar and favorite locations in those cities. It's obviously not the same thing as traveling there in real life, but there is no better way to go anywhere on the planet with a standalone headset in VR. This app is honestly amazing. It combines Google Earth, Street View, and Google Maps all in one beautiful, seamless experience. I definitely recommend using a narrow field of view in the comfort settings as you fly around if you're prone to motion sickness. The fluid motion is amazing, but it is quite a ride, so just be prepared. I love that this is now possible on the Quest 3. It gives me excitement for what the future will hold for the Quest 4 or Quest 5 and whatever other VR headsets and VR technologies that we're going to see in the next few years. Hands down, EarthQuest is the best way to explore anywhere on the planet on Quest. And finally, at number 1, Waltz of the Wizard. I had originally gotten this experience just to see what the mixed reality sandbox mode was like, and I hadn't really taken the time to explore this magical world that is so fantastically realized in full VR. This quite easily lands at the top of the list as the best looking and most inventive magical experience on the Quest 3. The full hand tracking and voice controls take this experience to a whole new level. You can literally create objects, then control them, the path they take, the gravity, their size, transmute them into other objects, stick them together, make them explode into a firework, and on and on and on. Beyond just feeling powerful and magical, this experience really is a glimpse into the future of VR. It's hard to describe how very cool it feels when you use your voice to create and command objects. The graphics are crisp and clean and really show off the smoothness of the Quest 3's capabilities. Again, this is not a game, but there are tasks and skills that you can learn and use that unlock your path through the experience further and further. The sense of wonder that you get when you figure out how to use the gestures to control your magic is like nothing else in VR. Recently, the talking skull in Waltz of the Wizard was updated to give him a much richer personality that adds a whole extra dimension to this already full and fantastic experience. The controls aren't perfect. Hand gestures are still limited by the Quest 3's technology, but work well enough to really impress in most aspects. Waltz of the Wizard is one of the best things you can buy in VR by far. You absolutely do not want to skip this one. You just have to be patient once you're in the experience. There is a learning curve, but when you gain skill, your power will feel that much more rewarding as you progress. It really does feel like there are endless possibilities with this one, and absolutely a bright future for hand tracking in VR. So that wraps up the top 10, but here are some bonuses I also want to mention. The first two give you the chance to change your perspective of reality by diving into the experiences of others. First is Goliath, Playing with Reality, which is an incredible interactive VR experience that exposes you to the mind of a schizophrenic gamer. It's narrated by Tilda Swinton and Goliath himself. Such a great experience, and it's very worth it, but this is definitely not for kids. It delves into some serious subjects of mental health, substance abuse, and it has a bit of cursing as well. Another truly unique and interesting experience in VR is becoming a cat in I Am Cat. Whether you like cats or don't, actually stepping into the paws of a cat is an experience that I highly recommend. I love cats, so I obviously enjoyed this more than someone who hates cats would. Maybe if you are a cat hater and you're willing to just step into the paws of a cat for a little while, maybe your feelings will change a little bit. You literally walk around using your arms and climb to explore the house, knock books off the shelves, and upset your owner enough to where she comes after you with a frying pan. This is one of those very strange things that has to be experienced to be understood. And finally, an obscure $2 VR experience well worth the money is Art Plunge, where you start in a hallway with some famous paintings, each of which you can plunge yourself into one by one. This is such a strange, futuristic, and mind-bending, albeit short-lived experience, but for $2, you really should not miss this. It's super cool. I'm including the links to all of these experiences in the description below, some of which have my affiliate links. If you buy through those links, your purchase will support the channel at no additional cost. And if you want to support the channel directly, you can always click the Super Thanks button down below the video. There are so many amazing experiences out there to explore and immerse yourself in VR without playing games. These are the 10 plus best ones out there that I really think are worth your time and money. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Have you purchased any of these experiences? Are there any other non-gaming experiences out there that are worth the money that I did not mention? Let's talk about it in the comments below. While you're here, why don't you check out my original list of the 10 must-try MetaQuest 3 experiences, which are all completely free. That is it for today's video though. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to all my subscribers for being loyal. I appreciate you guys so much. I will see you next time on GameList Plus.
When the one thing that links you to the outside world disappears,